this night, he was also engaged in ibadah. After he had his iftar, he also engaged in ibadah, and the next morning he was struck in his head. But before we go into that detail of the historical event, we want to continue to discuss the topic that we began since the beginning of this blessed month of Ramadan, and that is the hadith of Unwan Basri, the hadith, the encounter of Unwan Basri with Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi afdal salatu wasalam. In this encounter, Imam Sadiq, he was explaining to Unwan Basri the path or the method of gaining closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we mentioned that up until now, at least that before Unwan Basri, or before he could receive or truly understand the knowledge which the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal salatu wasalam, they will impart into the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he had to first and foremost achieve or attain a station whereby he would be considered a true servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A true servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Imam Sadiq, he said, this is the first level of taqwa, to truly become a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At that point, and after he had heard this, he asked Imam Sadiq, he says, Usini. So give me advice. What exactly do I need to do? What are some of the practical steps that I can do in order to become this true servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And then, once I've become this true servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I can begin to benefit. I can truly begin to benefit from the knowledge of Quran and Ahlul Bayt. So Imam Sadiq, he tells Unwan Basri, he says, Usika bit tis'a. He says, I'm going to advise you for 9 things. He says, and these 9 things which I advise you for, he says, وَسَيْتَنِي فَإِنَّهَا وَسِيَّتِي لِمُرِيدِ الطَّرِيقِ إِلَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. He says, so for anyone who wants to travel upon that path, who wants to be a wayfarer towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, this is my wasiyah, this is my advice to him. So anyone who wants to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, this is my advice. He tells him, he says, ثلاثة منها في رياضة النفس وثلاثة منها في الحلم وثلاثة منها في العلم فاحفظها وإياك والتهاون بها. So he says that I am advising you for 9 things. 3 of those things, so 3 of the 9, he says, it deals with riyadat al-nafs. Something that you would have to do, again, for your nafs, for the state of your self. In other words, part of it, when we actually go into this, we'll see that what Imam Sadiq has given him is, on the one hand, a formula, when he talks about riyadat al-nafs, a formula for obtaining well-being, his physical well-being. And he says, ثَلَاثَةٌ مِنْهُ مِنْ فِي الْحِلْمِ. And these things which are in hilm and grace are actually things which the Imam, he's telling him that with regards to your ethics, your etiquettes, your mannerisms. And ثَلَاثَةٌ فِي الْعِلْمِ. And so the other 3 things actually deals with knowledge and acquiring knowledge. How do you go about acquiring knowledge? So those 3 things which he tells Unwan Basri, and first and foremost Unwan Basri, one thing he says, and this is very important, particularly for ourselves, if we want to also learn as Unwan Basri did, he says when Imam Sadiq, he said that he's going to teach him 3 things, he's going to advise him for 3 things, and these things are practical, that you must do. He says, فَرَغْتُ نَفْسِي. He said, at that point, I basically put everything else aside, anything that I may have been engaged with, I put it all aside, so that I can focus and truly gain from the Imam. So then the Imam, he tells him, he says, أَمَّا اللَّوَاتِي فِي الرِّيَاضَةِ فَإِيَّاكَ أَن تَأْكُلَ مَا لَا تَشْتَهِي فَإِنَّهُ يُورِثُ الْحَمَاقَ وَالْبَلَى وَلَا تَأْكُلْ إِلَّا عِنْدَ الْجُوعِ وَإِذَا أَكَلْتَ فَكُلْ حَلَالًا وَسَمِّ اللَّهِ. And he tells him, and those are the three things. And then Imam tells him, he says, وَذْكُرْ حَدِيثَ الرَّسُولِ مَا مَلَأَ آدَمِيٌّ وِعَاءً شَرًّا مِنْ بَطْنِهِ فَإِنْ كَانَ لَا بُدَّ فَثُلُثٌ لِتَعَامِهِ وَثُلُثٌ لِشَرَابِهِ وَثُلُثٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. So the three things that the Imam, he advises him of, and I'll just go over it briefly, and then we'll come and we'll discuss it in a bit more detail. So the first thing he tells him, he says, don't eat a lot. He says, and this is in brief, he says, don't eat a lot. He says, eat only when you're hungry. And if you're not hungry, then you abstain. So eat when you're hungry. فَإِنَّهُ يُورِثُ. He says, and don't eat when you don't have the desire to eat. He says, because if you do, he says, إِنَّهُ يُورِثُ الْحَمَاقَ وَالْبَلَحَ. He says, what happens that if you're eating and you're not actually hungry, he says, this will actually dull your intellect. It will create in you, and hamaqa, the word is kind of weighty, actually makes you stupid. And balah means to make you dull. And we'll explain this a little bit more and the aspects of it. Then he says, and eat only that which is halal. And when you eat, he says, you should mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over your food or before you begin to eat. Then he tells on one Basri, he says, remember the hadith or the statement of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where he states that you should have 3 portions. So eat, your stomach should be 1/3 food, 1/3 drink, water, and 1/3 air, meaning that you're leaving room. So we'll start from the latter part of what Imam Sadiq he stated, and it has to deal with the adab, the etiquette of eating. One of those things with regards to the etiquette of eating, which we should always practice, is to say the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over our food. And this is not simply with regards to doing the dhabiha, yes, that has its own rules and laws, but when you're sitting at your table to eat, to begin with Bismillah before you even begin to put food in your mouths. As Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he stated that if you don't want to have shaitan at your table as a guest, he says, then you start with Bismillah. Otherwise, he will be at your table as a guest with you. So anything that is important, otherwise, you begin with Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, even in eating. With regards to the other aspect of etiquette that the Imam, he states, which is very important, he states that whenever you eat, he says, only eat that which is halal. Only eat what is halal. Not what you think may be halal or you have some doubt. No, that which is halal. فَكُلْ حَلَالًا. And this means that either, and there are 2 aspects of it, either that, yes, we are certain that what we're eating has been slaughtered according to the laws of Islam, according to the Sharia, that either we have done it ourselves, or if someone else has done it, a Muslim, of course, with a Muslim, you don't have to ask. But when it comes to a non-Muslim, and we have this, and actually, even in my return at the beginning of Ramadan, or actually a little bit before, again, I was hearing something from here and there, and this seems to always be an issue. Someone says, oh, this is halal. Oh, I heard this is halal. Okay, you heard it is halal. How are you sure that it is halal? well, yeah, this person said it's halal, okay, but who's selling it? If it is from a restaurant or it is from a seller, a dealer who is not Muslim, then we simply can't state that it's halal, even if they have documentation. They have a piece of paper that says, oh, well, it's halal. You have to actually check to see whether they are truly getting it from the proper source. And that source is actually slaughtering the meat in the proper way. And this is something that, again, you look at any of the Tawdi Masal, Rasalat Amaliya of our ulama, they mention this. Having the paper is not enough. It's not enough. You actually have to check. And I will tell you this even from experience, and some of the community members, they are aware of this, when it was stated that Elevation Burger is halal. So I said, oh, well, it's on the website, it's on this. There's a website that says, you look up halal.com, and it just says it here or there, but are you certain that it is halal? We have to check. So we, alhamdulillah, the owner, he was kind enough to meet with us, we asked. He met with us, and he had this paper. He says, I have no idea what this is, what you're talking about, what halal is. He says, I have absolutely no idea. He says, everyone is saying this. He says, but I don't know what it is. And what does it mean to you? He says, what we do, we order this meat, and it's coming from Australia. And we get the box. He says, I'll show you the box. And they send this paper along with it. He says, to me, really, paper doesn't really, is not important to him. What he was looking for was meat or cows that, they were free-range cows, and they ate organic. That was important, not whether it was halal or not. So he says, my concern is not whether it's halal or not. We're not sure. People are saying it. He says, but I can give you whatever documentation we have, and then if you think it's halal, then fine. So yes, we got the documentation. He was kind enough to give us a copy to the slaughterhouse that he was getting the meat from, ordering the meat from in Australia. We checked. I called to Australia, some of the shuyukh there that I know, and they went and they verified, yes, it's legitimate. They had a contract with this slaughterhouse that is providing halal meat. So therefore, yes, the meat is halal for that duration that they have the contract for. Other things, and again, I came across this, some of our youth, they were having some product, and again, it was said, oh, this is halal. So again, I asked, okay, well, how do we know it's halal? Well, it said it's on the website, or this person said it, that person said it. I actually went and checked, and from the company website, they said, no, our thing is not halal. People were asking, they said, no, our meat is not halal. And that's not their concern, whether it's halal or not. Their concern is to produce their product and bring about their income. But not doing our due diligence to figure out whether this is halal or not. On one hand, we're not observing those things that we should. And this aspect of eating halal, as the Imam is saying, is not meaning that if we have a doubt or not, then we eat it. That gray area. Because there are certain things, as also the Prophet is recorded to say, that we know that is halalun bayyin and haramun bayyin. Something that is clearly halal and something that is clearly haram. And then there's those gray areas, something that's in between. It may be, it's possibly, then even it is recommended to abstain from those things, that gray area, until you are certain, particularly, especially with regards to eating, what you are consuming. فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَى تَعَامِهِ. As Allah says, He says, look towards your food, look towards what you're consuming. And this goes for what you're consuming physically and also what you're consuming intellectually as well. As we know from Imam Sadiq, he says this ayat also refers to what you're consuming intellectually as well. So look to what you're feeding yourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, and only take of that which is halal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he states in the Quran, لا يستوي الخبيث والطيب. That's that which is good and that which is bad, says they're not equal. They're not equal. And even when we partake of those things, each of them will have their effect. Each of them will have it. So don't be surprised, or don't become attracted to that thing which is khabith, even if it's in abundance. You take that which is less. So eating what is halal, as Imam is advising on one Basri, on one hand it pertains to what he's physically eating, what a person is physically eating, but also it pertains to an individual's income, what they're earning, how they're obtaining their wealth in order to obtain their sustenance as well. That a person must, again, be honest, a person must be upright, a person must be engaged in those things, those type of occupations which are permissible, which are, again, you should be able to earn your wealth from that. As I mentioned before, this is one of the things that unfortunately stuck in my mind, but it's a very bad example. But it was so appalling that or at least apprehensive, that you think of this thing, you're like, wow, that's really bold. This is perhaps years ago, maybe it had to be at least 30 years ago. I think I was driving in one state, and as I was driving down one street, I see a sign. It was a liquor store, but the name of the liquor store, it took me aback. It said Abdullah's Liquor. I said, Subhanallah, the servant of God's liquor? Allahu Akbar. So when we're earning our wealth, it should be something that it is permissible for us to. Because if the wealth is not permissible, then those things that we also buy with that is also not permissible. It's not permissible. So we should be careful with those things. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he stated that al-ibada tis'atu ajza, or asharatu ajza, wa tis'atu minha fi talab al-rizq, fi talab al-rizq. This is perhaps paraphrasing. He says that ibadah, when we want to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we want to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says it has 10 dimensions. So ibadat and worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is 10 aspects, or 10 dimensions, or 10 degrees or states. And 9 of those is in talab al-rizq, to seek your sustenance. So in seeking your sustenance is worship. So the question is that if we're not seeking it in a manner that we are allowed to seek it, then how is that work or that job, how is it worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It won't be counted as worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will be counted as disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if we're earning it in a manner that we are permitted to earn that wealth and sustenance, that those hours that we go and we're clocking in, that we're working, every single hour of that, every single minute is considered ibadah. And you're getting reward of ibadah and worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you're seeking permissible and halal sustenance. So these are 2 of the 3 things that Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam that he is advising on one Basri. And the other thing, which is the first thing, which we should kind of focus on this a bit, where the Imam, he tells him, he says, أن تأكل ما لا تشتهي فإنه يورث الحماقة. He says, don't eat what you have no desire to eat. Only eat when you're hungry, and if you're not hungry, then don't eat. And this parallels, again, a statement that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, he made. He says, tells a person, he says, تجلس على الطعام وأنت تشتهي وتقوم عن الطعام وأنت تشتهي. He says, sit at the table, sit before food, and you want, you desire it, you're hungry. He says, and also stand up and leave from the table when you desire it, you want it. So in other words, a person should not fill his stomach. Sometimes, I think maybe sometimes in Ramadan we may have a tendency to do this, that people are fasting for the whole day and they can't wait to break their fast, and then when they break it, they eat as much as they can, and then after that you go into this what we call food coma. You don't want to move. This is also one of the reasons that sometimes I don't like to speak after iftar, because people they eat a lot and they start going into food coma, and it's difficult to wake them up. So you have to send salawat. So and actually, I've seen some speakers, they do that when they're speaking after iftar. They constantly tell the crowd, send salawat, because they want people to stay awake. Because some people, they eat so much and it's over. They can't concentrate. So an individual who wants to, again, strive towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who wants to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has to eat less. Not to eat their belly full, but eat enough. Eat enough that you actually you stop the hunger. That the hunger is just been satisfied. So at the beginning point that the hunger is satisfied, this is when it said you walk away. You walk away. And this is not the event of man versus food. There's a show that you're trying to see if you can eat as much as the next man can eat. No. You stop. And it is beneficial for you, not simply physically, but also spiritually. Mentally is good for you. With regards to it being physically good for you, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he was in the presence of his son, Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, and he told Imam Hassan, he said, inshallah, if we can give another salawat to stay awake, and also while we move forward, because there are people who are coming in, so we can make space for them. So give a salawat as you're moving forward. So eating less, it is beneficial for you physically, mentally, and spiritually. And this is one of the things, again, you'll see, subhanAllah, how it relates also to this very night in and of itself. But eating less. Amir al-Mu'mineen, he tells Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, he says, should I teach you about 4 things, about 4 traits, that if you practice these things, then you will actually have to go to the doctor less. And this is, again, relative with the person's state of being. But if a person practices, and they practice this often, then as Imam Ali he states, perhaps your visits to the doctors will be less. So he tells Imam Hassan, when he agrees, he says, yes, he says, لا تجلس على الطعام إلا وأنت جائع ولا تقوم عن الطعام إلا وأنت تشتهي. Similar to what Imam Sadiq alayhi wasallam, he says, do not sit at a table to eat unless you're hungry, and do not stand up unless you still have a desire to eat, meaning that you haven't completely filled your belly, your stomach, you've just cut the edge of hunger off. He says, stand up and walk away. That's the first thing. The second thing, he says, is jawwid al-madagha. He says, and chew your food. He says, chew it properly. Don't put food in your mouth and, because you want to eat fast or eat a lot, then you swallow big chunks of food. He says, don't do this. Chew your food properly. He says, you chew it. And this is the first process of digesting, that you chew your food properly. And then once you've chewed it properly, then you consume it. You let it go down. Then he says, وَإِذَا نَمْتَ فَأَعْرِضْ نَفْسَكَ. So there are two things. The first two things is to eat when you're hungry and to stand up from the table when you're still hungry, partially hungry. So the third thing is to chew your food properly. The fourth thing, he says, فَإِذَا نَمْتَ فَأَعْرِضْ نَفْسَكَ عَنِ الْخَلَاءِ. He says, and before you sleep, he says, then you make sure that you go to the restroom and you relieve yourself. You make sure that you completely relieve yourself. He says, and if you do this, if you practice this, he says, then your visits to the doctor will be less. It's a way of maintaining your health. Also, not sleeping. And one of the ideas, if you're also relieving yourself before you're sleeping, you're not sleeping on a full stomach. You're not sleeping on a full stomach. You're not, again, becoming or gaining excess weight. And one of the ways that people gain weight is that when they sleep on a full stomach. They sleep and their food is not properly digested. So when you sleep, what happens, your digestive system begins to slow down. And it slows down, you're asleep, and what happens is that extra weight and fat becomes attached to your body. So eating less is good for you physically. It's good for you mentally as well. As the Imam, he says that if you do not do this practice, he says, يُورِثُ الْحِمَاقَ وَالْبَلَةَ. It actually slows down your ability to think. You will go into food coma. You will not be able to process things. Spiritually as well, it is beneficial. This comes from also one of the hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. And he advises, he says, if you want to stay up and you want to engage in the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And some of the prime time of engaging in the ibadat of Allah is at night, when everyone is asleep. When you're able to get up and the wee hours of the night and be alone, to think, to reflect, to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the things that aids that is to eat less. Because once you eat less, it actually makes it easier for you to wake up in the night. Helps you to get up to make your ibadah. But if you are weighed down by food at night when you're asleep, your belly is full, you're gonna have some good sleep. That's no doubt. But to be able to get up, it will be difficult. But if your stomach is half empty, yes, you'll get up. Even sometimes a little grumble in the stomach will make you wake up just to get some water. But you wake up and you engage in ibadah. And you may take a little bit of food as well at that time. So physically, spiritually, and mentally, eating less, it is in your benefit. And we see this, and we know that this is the practice of Amir al-Mu'mineen. We know this is the practice of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam. Actually, in a night exactly like this, the eve of the 19th, where Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he was to eat at the house of Zainab al-Kubra salamullah alayha. It stated that he would go from house to house, his children's house. One night he would be at the house of Imam Hassan, one night he would be at the house of Imam Hussein. Another night he would be at the house of Muhammad al-Hanafiya. He would go, and tonight was the night that he would be at the house of Zainab al-Kubra salamullah alayha. It stated that when Zainab al-Kubra, she brought the iftar to Amir al-Mu'mineen, she brought the sha'ir, and she brought lebanon, and she brought some milh, some salt as well. Amir al-Mu'mineen, he looked at the table. And again, imagine, mashallah, what our table looked like when we ate iftar tonight. And here is the table of Amir al-Mu'mineen, where there's some barley soup, sha'ir, there's some yogurt, some lebanon, some salt. And he tells Zainab, says, oh my daughter, that here you've brought me tonight, jibtani idamain, you come and you've brought me 2 sets of food. And you know that I follow the sunnah of Ibn Ammi Rasulullah. I follow his sunnah. He says, why do you bring me 2? He says, bring me 1. Either you bring the barley soup or you bring the lebanon yogurt, but not both. Then he tells Zainab Kubra, he says, I remember that, again, this is the sunnah of Rasulullah, he only ate 1 type of food, not 2 types. He says, I remember that there was one time in which my beloved, my Habib Rasulullah, he was brought 2 types of food on the table. He says, and that was the night, قَبَّضَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. That was the night in which Allah, he took the soul of my beloved and my Habib. He says, and tonight you're bringing me 2? He says, just take 1. He told her to take the lebanon, take the yogurt. That was the iftar of Amir al-Mu'mineen. It said that Amir al-Mu'mineen, he ate his iftar and then he began to engage in his ibadah, his salat and his dua, until he took a bit of rest. And when he took his rest, according to some of the maqatil, that he saw Rasulullah in his dream, and he complained to Rasulullah that, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Habib, look at the state of this ummah, and look how they have treated me. Look at the state of affairs. And Rasulullah, he consoled him. And when Amir al-Mu'mineen, he said he woke up, he began to engage in ibadah. And Zainab al-Kubra, she stated that she saw her father يَكْثُرُ الدُّخُولِ يَكْثُرُ الْخُرُوجِ وَالدُّخُولِ, that he kept going in and out of the house, that he was going in and out of the house, يَنْظُرُ إِلَى السَّمَاءِ, looking towards the sky. And she would ask that, oh father, what are you doing? Why are you going in and out of the house? Why are you looking at the sky? Then he would say, he would respond, هذه الليلة والله هذه الليلة, that I swear by Allah, this is the night. هذه الليلة وعدني حبيبي رسول الله. He says, this is the night that my beloved Rasulullah, he had promised me. This is the night that he has promised that I will begin my return back to Allah. Zainab al-Kubra, she was saddened by this news. They said, Zainab al-Kubra, she began to worry. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, there's no need to worry. But he stated he would begin to give salutations. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Wa astaghfirullah kathira. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and abundance. This was the state of Amir al-Mu'mineen on this night. He engaged in his ibadah, and it stated that he took some rest in between his ibadah, and again he saw his beloved Rasulullah. And in this dream, the second dream that he saw Rasulullah, the Prophet of Allah, he had told him, because Imam Ali at this point, he woke up and his children had come. They heard that this was the state of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He's going in and out. Zainab had informed them. And so he woke up and he says, إني رأيت الساعة حبيبي رسول الله. He says, I've seen my beloved Rasulullah just now. وهو قال, and what did the Prophet say to him? He says, يا أبا الحسن أنت قادم إلينا عن قريب. He says, soon you will come. Oh Abu al-Hasan, oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, soon you will return to us. وأنا مشتاق إليك. I want you to come. I am waiting for you, Amir al-Mu'mineen. I am waiting for you, Abu al-Hasan. This is his conversation to Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says, وَيَأْتِيكَ أَشْقَى الْأَشْقِيَاءِ وَيُخَذِّبُ شَيْبَتَكَ بِدَمِكَ. He says, the most reputable person, he will come to you and he will make your white beard, he will make it red with your own blood. When the children of Amir al-Mu'mineen, they heard this, they begin to cry. They begin to wail, and Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, don't cry at this moment. But they cannot help themselves, they continued to cry. And then when Amir al-Mu'mineen, he left his home, he left from the house of Zainab towards the masjid. They said he went towards the masjid, and at that time people were in the masjid. Some of them had slept in and around the masjid. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, he began to wake up those individuals who were sleeping around the masjid and in the masjid. Among those individuals was Ibn Muljam al-La'i. And he told him, he says, don't sleep like this. Ibn Muljam, he was laying on his stomach, hiding the dagger which he was to stab Amir al-Mu'mineen with. But Amir al-Mu'mineen is advising him, don't sleep like this. Don't sleep on your stomach. This is the sleep of shaitan. Sleep on your back, your side, but not on your stomach. Said when Amir al-Mu'mineen, he began to pray. This is after the adhan, he began to pray his nawafil. It stated that Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he was going into ruku', tawwala ruku', that his ruku' was long. It was not like the normal ruku' where he would go in and come out, but that ruku' was a long ruku'. And then when he went down for his sajda, his first sajda, tawwala sajdata, that he also extended his sajda, according to some of the maqtal. But as he raised his head from the first sajda, then Ibn Muljam al-La'id, as it says, أخذ سيفه وحزم رأس إمام. So he took his sayf, وضرب رأس أمير المؤمنين, and he struck the head of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He struck the head of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and Imam Ali, he stated, بسم الله وبالله وعلى ملة رسول الله. Says, oh, by the name of Allah, فزت ورب الكعبة. That this has been success, that he has been granted success. فزت ورب الكعبة. They said that Imam al-Hasan, he ran to Amir al-Mu'mineen. He took the head of his father and laid it in his lap. They went and Imam al-Hussein, he collected Ibn Muljam, not allowing him to flee. The others also, they grabbed Ibn Muljam, not allowing him to flee. But as Amir al-Mu'mineen, he laid his head in the lap of Imam al-Hasan, bleeding. They said that, according to some of the maqtal, that even at this time there could be a sound that was heard, and some say that the sound was from heaven. That the Malaikatullah كان تبكي يبكي على أمير المؤمنين وينادي جبرائيل هدمت والله أركان الهدى هدمت والله أركان الهدى. That the pillars of guidance have been shaken, they have been destroyed in this night. بضرب رأس أمير المؤمنين. ألا لعنة الله على قوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم بحق هذه المجلس العلوي اغفر ذنوبنا واستر عيوبنا واقض حوائجنا واشف مرضانا وارحم أمواتنا وعجل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره والمستشيرين بين يديه وتحت لوائه بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين. ماتم العلوية يا علي.
ہائے مولا ہائے مولا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے آج بابا مر گیا ہے شبر و شبیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ علی فاطمہ زہرا کے مرخد سے صدا آنے لگی فاطمہ زہرا کے مرخد سے صدا آنے لگی ہے صدا آنے لگی یہ مصائب رہ گیا تھا کیا میری تقدیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی یا رسول اللہ یہ جبریل نے رو کر کہا یا رسول اللہ یہ جبریل رو کر کہا ہائے یہ رو کر کہا ایک حلقہ اور ٹوٹا نور کی زنجیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر کی یہ جنازہ کیوں چلائی تیگ حیدر پر بن ملجم بتا، کیوں چلائی تیگ حیدر پر بن ملجم بتا، ہے بن ملجم بتا، قتل قرآن کر دیا کاٹا گلا تفسیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر گیر کا، یہ جنازہ غم علی کی بیٹیوں کے پھر سے تازہ ہو گئے، غم علی کی بیٹیوں کے پھر سے تازہ ہو گئے، علی ہائے تازہ ہو گئے، غم ابھی بھولی کہاں تھی مادر دلگیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر گیر کا، یہ جنازہ نظم جانے علی کو کیا خیال آتا رہا، نظم جانے علی کو کیا خیال آتا رہا، ہے خیال آتا رہا، منہ کبھی زینب کا دیکھا اور کبھی شبیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر گیر کا، یہ جنازہ بیٹیوں کو دیکھتے ہیں اور روتے ہیں علی، بیٹیوں کو دیکھتے ہیں روتے علی علی اور روتے ہیں علی، ہائے وہ ظالم تصور شام کی تشہیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر گیر کا، یہ جنازہ چھوٹے سے عباس بھی روتے ہیں سر کو پیٹ کر، چھوٹے سے عباس بھی روتے ہیں سر کو پیٹ کر، ہائے سر کو پیٹ کر، بچپنا عباس کا اور ظلم بچپنا عباس کا اور زخم دل پر تیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر گیر کا، یہ باپ کی میت سے زینب کا لپٹنا بار بار، باپ کی زینب کا علی ہے لپٹنا بار بار، دل ہلا دیتا تھا رونا شاہ کی ہمشیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، شاہ خیبر گیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا، آج بابا مر گیا ہے شبر و شبیر کا، یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا۔
Yeah. This one is slower, so similar to Arabic. Ya Ali Mola Ali Mola Ali Jan, Ya Ali Mola Ali Mola Ali Jan, Ya Ali Mola Ali Mola Ali Jan, یا علی مولا علی لیلت القدر است و دیده گشته گریان لیلت القدر است و دیده گشته گریان یا علی گفتیم و دل شد بیت و لحظان یا علی گفتیم و دل شد بیت و لحظان غرق خون منبر و محراب در جنان فاطمه بیتاب غرق خون منبر و محراب در جنان فاطمه بیتاب یا علی مولا علی مولا علی جان یا علی مولا علی جان یا علی مولا علی یا علی جبرئیل از آسمان شد نوح خوانش جبرئیل از آسمان شد نوح خوانش هر دلی سوزد ز داغ بیکرانش هر دلی سوزد ز داغ بیکرانش ور غم او گرفتاریم تا قیامت عزاداریم بر غم او گرفتاریم تا قیامت عزاداریم یا علی مولا علی مولا علی جان یا علی یا علی مولا علی مولا علی جان کاش قلب او تسلایی ببیند این سر شکسته را زینب نبیند کاش قلب او تسلایی ببیند این سر بشکسته را زینب نبیند دختر و قربت بابا زین نزا آه و با ویلا دختر و قربت بابا زین نزا آه و با ویلا یا علی مولا علی مولا علی جان یا علی مولا علی مولا علی جان یا علی مولا علی مولا
السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيب الله السلام عليك يا صاحب السكينة السلام عليك أيها المدفون في المدينة ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا سيد الوصيين السلام عليك يا قائد الغر المحجلين السلام عليك يا يعسوب الدين وإمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا سيدتي ومولاتي فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين السلام على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي حجج الله على عباده وأمنائه في بلاده صلوات الله عليهم أجمعين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وارزقنا شفاعتهم يوم الدين السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة أجمعين ورحمة الله وبركاته. Please recite Surah Al-Fatiha for all marhumin, especially for the people who provide the dinner for tonight. Salawat.
All right, so it's 11:05 right now. Inshallah, if we can maybe do our best to be inside by 11:10, that gives people enough time to do wudu, maybe take a break, get some water. Let's try to aim for starting out mal at around 11:10. That'd be ideal, inshallah. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. We'll be getting started here pretty soon with the Amal. If you're outside in the hallway, can you please come inside? I wanted to make a few announcements before we get started. So, it's Ramadan. A few of us, a few young adults, we got together and we decided that, you know, this month is the month of giving, not only charity, but your time. And so we got together and we decided that we would initiate a few projects, okay? The first of those projects is being for these nights of Laylatul Qadr and for Eid, okay? If you want to come to the programs, but you have difficulty coming, then we started a program in which there's a list of drivers that are willing to come pick you up from your house and bring you to mosque and take you back home. Okay, so that's the first of the initiatives. If you would like to sign up as a driver who is willing to give rides, then please contact me. And if you are willing, if you want to be picked up, then you would contact my wife. And an email has already been sent out to IABA. So please look out for that email. The contacts are listed over there. Again, if you need a ride to mosque during these important nights, we want you to be able to make it and get a ride home in addition to Eid program. The second one is a toy drive. Okay, so we will be collecting gifts for the refugee community of Austin, the Muslim children, refugees. And we've partnered with the Texas Refugees of Austin. Okay, so gifts, if you would like to bring some, if you have gifts anywhere from the ages of 2 to about, I would say, 10 or 12 years old, please bring those gifts to mosque. We prefer newer gifts, okay, so we would like to give them during Eid. And they're going to be collected in the library right here next to the restrooms. And Brother Turab Sayyid will be coordinating that. Also, an email has already gone out about that, so please look for that contact. The last one is a food drive that we will be starting very soon. There's going to be a box outside here in the lobby. So if you have any canned items or any essentials that you think someone would need, we're going to keep them outside in this box, okay? This is going to serve 2 purposes. One, if you have things at home that are not expired and you're willing to give, you can put it here. It's for the community. It's from the community for the community. Okay, so we put it there. Anyone in the community who perhaps might need something from that box, whether it be food or essential items, please feel free to take that. An email will be going out very soon. So the key here is that please check your emails. All these projects and initiatives have been announced already via email, except for the food drive, which is coming out tomorrow. And so please look out for that. And yeah, most important part about all this is if anyone doesn't have an email account, or if you know people that might not speak English or be able to read English, then please reach out to them and let them know, okay, the ride sharing, the toy drives, and the food drive. These are 3 very important things. Lastly, we're going to have a Quds program, okay, and an email is going to go out about that, so please watch out for that. All right, salawat.